Hey miners, thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be talking about Ravencoin, how to set up their wallet and how to mine it. So Ravencoin was launched earlier this year in January, and it got a lot of attention from a lot of people. And the reason for that is because it shares a lot of the same characteristics as Bitcoin when it launched. It is forked off of the original Bitcoin code. They're both decentralized networks. Ravencoin has a huge, strong community behind them and a lot of support. In fact, there's over 400 developers actually took part in the development of this project. They took their time and resources and built it from the ground up. If you take a look at their white paper, just download it. It's only 4 pages, but it's basically they're explaining their X16R algorithm. They created a whole new algorithm just for their coin. It starts off by saying the history of Bitcoin when it first came out. It was you can mine with your CPU, and then then it went to GPUs. The community grew, the people around it grew, the technology got popular. And then it went to FPGAs, and then from there it evolved to ASICs, and then once the ASIC mining and the ASIC manufacturers got their hands on it, it just exploded, and it just got out of hand. And basically they don't want Ravencoin to go in the same direction as Bitcoin did, where it became commerce and it was only for monetary gain and infrastructure and manufacturing. So the only way to avoid that direction is to generate or create a whole new algorithm. And what it is actually one algorithm that has 16 algorithms in one, per se. What it does is it actually switches from one algorithm to the next. And when you mine X16R, you'll see this in your hash rates. Like, it's all over the place. They're not steady. It's like once it jumps from one algorithm, the hash rate changes. It jumps from another, the hash rate changes, along with your power load and your temperature of the GPU. So I think this algorithm is actually hardware intensive compared to other algos like AdHash or EquiHash. I would, for the meantime, I would keep your overclocking to a minimum, just so there's some stability there. And of course, there's going to be some more workarounds with this algorithm. But I encourage you to read this white paper. We want to move along here. So the next step you want to do is you want to go to Ravencoin. So do a Google search on this, and it should be the first hit that comes up. It gives you a brief introduction of what it is. And if I didn't mention it, I don't think I did, but it's a use case specific blockchain designed to carry statements of truth about who owns what asset. Now that in itself is extremely beneficial for the blockchain. Like, you're sending and receiving, but you don't really know that asset or that actually belongs to that person who's sending it to you. This, I think, will be extremely useful and beneficial to the blockchain for our future. And let's go back to the Ravencoin page on Bitcointalk. It tells you, the history and achievements. The coin specs, we talked about X16R. The block time is 1 minute. The block reward is 5,000 RVN. And back in January, when it first came out, people were actually were finding blocks with their CPUs. But since then, it's only been 3 or 4 months, and that's highly unlikely now. Again, this coin generated a lot of attention, so there's a lot of people mining this now. So I would recommend GPU mining, if anything. Total coin supply is 21 billion, and if I remember correctly, Bitcoin was 21 million, and I don't think that's coincidental either. 21. Founders reward, none. It doesn't need one. And no ICO. It even says there, hell no. It's because they're not fundraising. This isn't a business. They're not selling a product. They don't need startup capital to get this project off the ground. This is a peer-to-peer open source network. They encourage developers to fork off this code, to look at the binary, and do what you will with it. Make it better. Do something great with it. These are the important links. Wallets we're going to be talking about. We're going to generate a wallet. Linux, Mac, Windows. I'll be demonstrating the Windows one. Paper wallet. I never generated a paper wallet because I didn't see it in the list. Block Explorer. You're going to be entering your wallet address there. It's got. It'll give you stats on what you're mining. Exchanges. When it came out in January, it was not part of any exchange up until March, beginning of March. Crypto Bridge picked them up. Now 2 more followed suit. You got BarterDex and Nanex. CPU miners. If you wanna mine with a CPU, if you got a PC laying around just idling, go for it. I don't know how many coin you're gonna get, but your GPU miners, there's AMD. When it came out, it did not have an AMD miner. There was a bounty for an AMD developer who can come up with a miner for it, and I think the bounty was 50,000 RVN. But anyways, there's an Nvidia GPU miner, and I do believe T-Pruvat got the credit for that. So good for him. Thank you. And now we can all benefit. Official community pool is 3-eyed, and I think the official one is Mine Pool for Ravencoin. You got a bunch of other pools happening here. Mining Panda, Crypto Pool. I heard of them. I don't know Craw. I don't know Omega. I think I've heard of BCOD, BSOD, Fubar. Sol Pool. So you take your pick. There's a bunch now. This site gets updated a lot. Yimp is a popular one. Supernova. You need a web login for Supernova, and they also do you a solid. They also give you the command line to put in the bat file right there. So everything you need is pretty much on this in Ravencoin. And there's also a mining guide on Vertopia. Let's click that. Yeah, if you want to run a full node, and you can do so straight from your wallet, I do believe. Yeah, if you want to do that, then you can do that. Setup guide through Vertopia. So let's get started by generating a wallet. Scroll up. Alright, so we're going to click on the link here. And I'm going to be demonstrating the Windows wallet. Click on Windows, and these are the 4 executables you want to download. There's 7 files here, 8, and you just want to download the executables. So the Raven CLI, the Qt, the TX, and the DEXE. You're going to download all those, and you're going to put them on or in a folder. Like so. Create a folder. Put all those executables in one folder. And in that folder, you're going to execute this, the Qt one. And I think it'll come up with like a little Raven icon. So you're going to execute that one. I already did that. And this is my Raven client, or Raven Core wallet client. So the overview is going to have your balances on the left, your pending, total, recent transactions. I think that only the first 5 or last 5, sorry. Your send. You want to send Ravencoin to an exchange or to someone, who knows. Receive. Transactions. These are all the transactions. As you can see, I've been mining, so all the mining transactions are coming through. Okay, so then what I did is I created a whole new receiving address just for mining. So what I did is I go to File, Receiving Addresses. I'm gonna click New. Put down whatever, mining for Raven or trying to get rich, whatever you want. Right, and then I dedicate this address just for mining. You hit OK. I already did one, so I'm gonna cancel that. So here's my address, my receiving address for this wallet, and that's your address you're gonna be putting in for your miner, for your bat file. Very simple. I'm pretty sure you guys done this 1,000 times before. Okay, and now we're gonna get to the miners. And go back to that page, that Ravencoin.org. Scroll down to AMD miner, and we're gonna set that up. I'm going to be using TeamViewer to set this one up, so the video is probably going to change a bit. So let's do that now. Okay, for the SG miner, we're going to go to the Buried One website. I'm going to leave a link in the description for the site. There it is, SG miner. And we're going to click the pre-made SG miner Ravencoin Windows because we're using Windows. You're going to click download, but before you do that, make sure you turn off your antivirus. You do that by clicking your Windows Defender icon in the corner there, or by going into the Windows Defender Security Center. You click Virus and Threat Protection. Virus and Threat Protection settings. Real-time protection is off. And we're good there. And then I also have AVG, so I'm going to turn that off. And then I'm going to download it. It's a quick download. And we're going to extract it. Pick a folder you want to extract it to. Open a miner for. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to go and find that file. Okay, so here it is there. It's better to create a folder on its own when you extract it because it's going to have tons of files to extract and the kernel. So there's already a couple bat files created. You can click it, edit it. So it's got the environment variables up top, your command line, and it gives you some notes on the intensity that you have this set at. Now it's already preset for 21. I don't do 21, I do 20. Sometimes the pool dictates the intensity automatically, but SG Miner, you can dictate the intensity by adding the -I, capital I, space, and then the number. And it says here intensities of 18 to 20 usually work fine. So if you're finding you're getting a lot of stale shares or rejected shares, I think rejected shares is what contradicts your intensity. But if you find you're getting a lot of rejected shares, then you turn your intensity down a notch. So if you have a 21, put at 20, and then try that out. And then you try it at 19 if you're still getting a lot of rejected shares. So once you got that set up, basically you're gonna replace this with your own wallet address. I showed you how to generate your own wallet address, and this one's tapping into mine pool. If you want three-eyed pool, then you gotta change that to its appropriate setting. If you go into three-eyed pool setting on the AND page, this is the three-eyed one right here. You're gonna copy that server address. Well, not that, but the server address. You copy that and you add it into your bat file. Very straightforward stuff. Okay, so now we're going to start up our SG miner. I'm tapped into my rig upstairs with TeamViewer. So let's. So there's my bat file that I created in the folder there. I'm going to double click that. And it's initializing. Startup GPU initialization using settings from pool. The number. Okay, so the miner's running, and on the top there you can see the temperature of the two GPUs I'm using, the fan RPM, the mega hashes for each one, and the rejected share percentage. I don't know what WU is, but I is the intensity that we set it at. And remember I spoke about this miner telling you when it's switching algorithms. So as you can see, it's doing that here. Switching algo order, switching accepted share, switching algo order. So that's it for the SG miner. You just let that run. It's pretty basic information on the screen here. I find the CC miner, for some reason, I think it's more productive. I don't know if that's the word for it, but I like using the CC miner because I have 6 1060 GPUs and a 1070 on there, so it's 7 total, and seems pretty stable, and I get a lot of shares from it. So so that's the SG miner. Let's move on to the CC miner. Okay, so I am on my mining rig. It's got 7 Nvidia 1060 6GB GPUs. Hopefully you can hear me over the fan noise. But anyways, we're gonna set up the Nvidia CC miner on this rig and get it going as a demonstration. So let's get started here. So we're gonna open up our web browser. We're gonna go to the Ravencoin website. It's at bitcointalk.org. So we're going to scroll down. I'm going to have links in the description for all these sites. We're going to scroll down to where it says GPU miner. That's the AMD one. This is the Nvidia one. I'm downloading from the second one here. and it's going to take you to the github.com site, and that's the one we want. CC Miner x64 CUDA. I'm going to download that bad boy. Once it's downloaded, show in folder, see where it is. Now it is a 7-zip compression, so you're going to need the 7-zip application in order to extract that. You can do that just by searching 7-zip. I think it's the first or second one. You're going to want to download the 7-zip for 64-bit Windows. Obviously not 32-bit if you have Windows 10 Pro. So let's go back there. Right click, extract files. Now I'm going to put it in my Bitcoin folder. Hit OK. Alright, she's good to go. This is my CC Miner. So we're going to open up the folder, and it already has 2 command files already started there. One is for Supernova and the other one is for 3-eyed. Supernova, you need a web login and username. If you already have one for Supernova, then you can just go ahead and use that and enter the proper credentials. Let's edit. So right now TP Ruvat has his own web login in there. So obviously it's not a wallet address. The wallet address is attached to your web login at the Supernova server. So you're going to be putting in your web login, your rig name, and your password. He has his password at X. So basically, if you have, you know, your Supernova account, then you're going to be changing this stuff here. This stuff here stays the same, but I'm not, because I don't have Supernova. I have 3-eyed. So we're going to edit that. I'm going to replace this wallet address with my own. Just got to find it. Whoops. All right. I'm going to save that. Close this up. Close that up. Close that up. I'm going to close this miner here. And let them wind down for a sec. So I'm going to execute that file. And as you can see, it picked up all 6 GPUs. We're just going to wait for the kernel to load. Okay, so it's starting to hash. We haven't found any work yet, but let me just take a look at my settings here. Because it's switching from algorithm to algorithm, the temperature is going to get kind of high. So I just want to make sure my fans are up here. So it's hashing away here. So we're just gonna let it do its thing, and I could pause it and come back to it. But while I have it up on the screen, I can give you a rundown of what it's reading when it loads. So that's your server address right here. The pool, the three-eyed pool. The GPU monitoring is enabled. GPU monitoring enabled. 6 minor threads, as I already said. So it's setting the intensity to 19. Usually the intensity is usually between 18 and 20. Some people have the high-end cards like the Vegas. They want to put it at 21. Be my guest, but I'm telling you, when you're hashing or when you're mining this algorithm, you don't want your overclock settings to be the same as you would if you're mining Monero or Ethereum or Zcash. You want to detune them down a bit because they're constantly switching back and forth from algorithms, and it does stress the GPU a lot from doing that. So it actually lists the actual GPU name: Asus GTX 1070 I have, PNY 1060, another 1060. So now we're grabbing shares. We've got some accepted shares happening here. And if you take a look at the hash rates, right now they're at the 43 mark. Mega hash. And then once it's switching algorithms, I'm not sure. I think that's an indication of it switching. But I know when I run the AMD, the SG miner, it tells you that it's switching an algorithm. It might be this indication here that it's switching. But I find from this application to the SG miner, I find this one is more productive. Yeah, I find that this one is more productive. It's almost like it works faster. But nonetheless, so we're gonna let this thing run. Okay, that is about it. I think we've covered all the basics of Ravencoin, the wallet, the mining, and please please subscribe, share the video with your friends, take part in this project, and as always, pay it forward. Thanks for watching.